In 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween spread fear in theaters. The US production with an R rating had a budget of $325,000 and made $47 million alone in the US back. It was a worldwide success at the box office, but received initially moderate reviews or was ignored. That was till a known critic gave a positive review, so others followed. Today it is regarded as a genre classic and a kind of inventor of the slasher film. On closer inspection, it was only the first really successful of its kind, because many innovations it's known for came from other movies. It was not the first slasher film. This crown is due to Mario Bava's Italian production Bay of Blood from 1971. It also wasn't the first film to introduce the typical motifs, which later on became the standard themes of the slasher film, like the subjective camera from the viewpoint of the killer, also called point-of-view shots, or the serial killing of young women by an unknown psychopathic murderer, preferably on a holiday with a final girl at the end. This was shown much earlier in Bob Clark's Canadian production Black Christmas from 1974. On the Halloween night of 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers kills his 17-year-old sister with a kitchen knife.
Michael?
He spends the next 15 years in a sanatorium, till he escapes one day before Halloween and begins a killing spree in his hometown. His treating shrink, Dr. Loomis, tries to warn people, but nobody seems to take the situation seriously besides him.
Okay, Linda. Come on now.
Director John Carpenter worked on his fourth movie to lower the costs with many unknown actors such as later Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis, which gave here her debut. Donald Pleasence was the only star on the set. The project was offered to Carpenter by producer Irvin Yablans, along with financier Mustafa Akkad, after they saw Assault at a film festival. He wanted a movie about a babysitter being terrorized by a mentally ill killer, and also came up with the idea for the movie title. The iconic soundtrack by John Carpenter contributed significantly to the success of the movie. Personally, I prefer part 2, in which Carpenter teamed up with Alan Howarth. When I watched the movie back then with a friend, we were of course enthusiastic about the uncanny atmosphere and the fantastic score. Halloween quickly distinguished itself from its many clones, which tried to balance the lack of suspense and atmosphere with more gore. The movie still has even today a very high entertainment value. For me, mainly because it's very well shot, and for the many small things, like The Thing from the 50s, which runs in a scene on TV. Or the fact that Michael Myers is wearing a real Captain Kirk mask, simply brushed white. For the TV broadcast in 1981, 12 minutes of additional material from Carpenter were reshot. This happened during the production of part 2. The scenes explain from my point of view too much, and differ a bit in their quality from the original material. This version is also known as Extended Edition. But in this case, I think less is more.
I've been trigger-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is.
In 1981, Halloween 2 showed up and in Germany directly disappeared again, thanks Ben in 1990. Never to be seen again except for an awful cut-down version. That sucked. The movie, with a screenplay by Carpenter, seamlessly connects to part 1. Michael Myers is gone. And while Dr. Loomis tries to find him in the city, Michael goes to the hospital where his almost victim Laurie was taken. Before he confronts her again, some hospital employees have to die.
Mr. Garrett?
The movie was a financial success but got quite mixed reviews. It is certainly the best among the sequels, but that means absolutely nothing when you consider how bad they are. The absence of Carpenter is clearly noticeable, who was not satisfied with the finished movie and shot a few scenes himself. Director Rick Rosenthal, his first motion picture, showed with later total failures like The Birds 2 or Halloween 8, less erection. It could have been much worse. I personally thought Part 2 is right in the middle, still better than Friday the 13th and Citizen Kane compared to each of the sequels. But more about that in the specials. 1982 came with Tommy Lee Wallace's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, again a directorial debut produced by Carpenter. A doctor discovers a conspiracy. A toy manufacturer tries to kill thousands of children using remotely controlled Halloween masks. These get activated by a prepared commercial that is going to run during the Halloween night. Halloween 3 has absolutely nothing to do with its predecessors and stands alone, which makes no sense whatsoever and is only suitable for a short episode like Twilight Zone.
I've got nothing here to indicate there was ever a body at all.
Operator, this is an emergency.
I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it.
You've got to believe me.
They're going to kill us. All of us.
Stop it.
The world's going to change tonight, Doctor. Happy Halloween.
Stop it!
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
For more than a short, it just has not enough story. And in fact, something similar was planned to start a Halloween anthology series. The result was a confusing, disappointing mess with stupid bullshit and even magic. It got quite negative feedback and made in the franchise the least money back at the box office. Thanks to its good cast, a crazy plot and out-of-place effects, it has at least a high trash entertainment value. And falls under the first Halloween rule, not as good as the last one, but at least not as bad as the next one.